What's something you wish the fans knew about the NBA that they don't know? Like, it could be anything. It can be just the hours, the flights, you know what I mean?
That's
Like,
a great question. Because I feel like it ain't just one thing. Like when you look at being on the East Coast and you got a West Coast swing and you got 4 games in 5 nights, and then it's like you might leave on a Friday, even though the time zone is different, but you might have to play the Lakers, the Clippers, Golden State on the Saturday, and then it might be a back to back, or you might get a day in between. But it's like your body adjusting to that alone is something that's tough, man. Like to you know be on a 10 o'clock at night when the game time is starting on the East Coast, but it's 7:30 West Coast. That's an adjustment too. You know what I'm saying? And
hmm
these are the things that we just have to do. Like it's not a complaint. It's not none of that. But if you have that schedule and you're 40 games in, ain't no telling what your body could be going through. You know what I'm
Facts.
saying? So it's a ton of things that happen. But when people see you perform, it's like you making millions of dollars. Stop complaining, doing this and doing that. And I don't necessarily think it's a complaint. I think we have lost sight of human beings being human.
Right.
Just because somebody might be able to give you 30 doesn't mean that they're not going through dysfunction or something at the crib. Like it's those things, bro. You know what I'm saying? And it's funny because like you could be in an arena and a fan can tell you about yourself, but if you were to go to Starbucks and disrespect the person making your coffee, man, they don't have to serve you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's real. That's
It's
real.
just one of those things that everybody can say stop acting like this or stop being soft or whatever. But in other environments and other situations and conditions, like people don't necessarily have to deal with that because you can literally remove people from the premises for saying things or being in a certain type of way that's out of pocket.
No, for sure. For sure. No, I agree with you. I think a lot of people do look at you guys who played in the NBA or playing in the NBA like y'all, like because y'all made money or making money, y'all bulletproof. Like y'all shouldn't be hurt. Y'all should enjoy everything that comes with life. Even if it's your wife divorced you. You should be okay with that because you made a bunch of millions of dollars. You should half shouldn't be nothing. Giving out half shouldn't be nothing, brother.
We joke about that all the time, but man, you see some of the pain guys are going through, man. And even though, they don't talk about it, bro, because we as men, we just kind of take it on the chin.
Right.
But everything, bro, like when you go from, for example, being with your wife or your girl and your kids or whatever your situation is to now you having to adjust the transition because there's a breakup and now you're fighting for time with your kids. Like look at some of the stuff, man, players have gone through from Christian Woods, for example. Like
Oh
that.
yeah, yeah. Shit, I forgot about him.
uh, but I mean, the videos, the back and forth, they threatening this man's life, whatever happened in that situation. And, he was able to get, full custody of his kid. But it's like, bruh, going through something like that, and then you have the public humiliation of it as well.
Uh-huh.
That's a tough thing to get through, man.
Very much so. Very much so, man. Did you now I don't want to get in your personal life, but did you ever have to go through anything like that and still have to perform? And if you did, how'd you fight through that?
Man, absolutely, man. And it's okay. Like I don't mind giving some examples. So I remember one time I was with the Clippers, right? And my daughter pretty much got kidnapped, bro. Like mom came, picked her up, and never returned her, bro. And it was like
Word.
this thing that I really had to go through. And I'll never forget, like at that time, the young lady that I was with, you know what I'm saying? I'll never forget at that time when she was like, yo, she took her, it was during her time in her window, but she never returned her. And then when it's like I'm calling, I'm trying to see what's going on, and I'm not getting no answer, no response, bro. And to not know where my daughter is, and then have to go through this whole thing of getting the attorney involved and, filing reports and doing all of that, man, like I've had to deal with some stuff, bro. I got a ton of stories, you know what I'm saying, of things that I had to go through, things that I still go through to this day. But you know what I mean? At the end of the day, I'm grateful, bro, because these are learning lessons. I can use my experiences to help somebody else. And that's kind of like the way that I look at it
Right,
as my of um, not focusing on the negative, but just kind of turning it into a positive, man. But it's a ton of people, bro, that are going through life and still showing up every day. And because they might look normal to you, it doesn't mean that they're not dealing with some challenges.
right, right. And you resolved that, right? I mean, her mom took her. Her mom, she took her without your permission or whatnot, but y'all resolved it. She's back. Your daughter's fine and everything now,
Yeah,
right? Okay, all
but
right, all right. We gotta let the people know. People might be still confused on the story.
none of, none
So,
of it's fine, but there are lifelong wounds
mhm,
that people are still healing from and things that people are still sorting through.
right,
So, these things, man, like, even though that happened over a decade or so ago, but these are still things that have a lasting imprint. Because when stories get told and they're not told properly, that's the heaviness of some of the things that go on, and kids get caught in the mix of adult business.
right.
So, like I said, I could share a million things that have happened. I went to jail. What I mean, what year was that? Because I had a few run-ins with the police, but I actually got locked up the year I was with the Hawks.
Okay,
You know, on some BS, bro, and um, having to deal with uh, being in my own city, being profiled, being I wasn't embarrassed, but I'm gonna use these words just to make it make sense. But being handcuffed, bro, like having multiple officers jump on you
mm,
and treat you in a certain manner, and I still have damage in my wrist to this day because of the way that they put the handcuffs on me. You know what I'm
wow.
saying? Like they cut my
What?
circulation
If you don't
off.
mind me asking, what happened? I'm not too familiar with this story.
Okay, so March, not March, the ACC tournament. It was the ACC tournament or the SEC tournament was in Atlanta,
Okay,
and it was at the convention center or whatever. So you had all the college crowds kind of doing whatever. So we had a game that day.
right,
I took my same way that I'm coming, and I'm trying to make a left to cross the tracks to go where we enter through the players' entrance. And the light was red. The officer was like telling me to do something. And I was like, bro, I'm not finna run this light. I didn't really know what he was doing. It was super weird. So he just ran up on me. And
mm.
he pulled the pistol out, bro. He was trying to open up the car. And I'm on the phone with my uncle. And I'm like, oh, this ain't looking good. You know what I'm saying? So I
So
tried to like
this
lock
when
the
you was
door,
in college, right? Or you was in the league yet?
playing for the Hawks.
Oh, okay, okay. Because you said the
Yeah.
ACC tournament. Okay,
Yeah, it was either the ACC or SEC tournament. I cannot remember. But I was playing for them, bro. We had a game. We had like one of those 1 o'clock games or 2 o'clock
hmm,
games, whatever. Because it was like a Sunday, I want to say.
okay,
And man, them folks jumped down on me. So he opened the door, put the tool to my head, and then I'm getting out the car. I'm trying to get out the car slow. And, I'm an athlete, bro. So, like, they handling me. Well, it was one at one point. He handling me a certain type of way. So I'm kind of like bracing myself, bro. And then all of a sudden, I feel a dude jump on my back. He's choking me out. And another officer came. So they took me down. Like, I slowly went down, but like, I'm holding myself against three men. And they handcuffed me and basically sat me like in the middle of this crowd. So everybody's walking by, looking, pointing.
oh,
I had teammates that rolled by me, bro. Like it was interesting that day, man. You know what I'm saying? Like
wow,
I grew that
wow.
day. It was interesting.
All because of a misunderstanding with a hand gesture.
it was a misunderstanding, but come to find out, this officer had a track record of doing things like that. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? So, um, yeah, that was a tough one, bro. And then dig this though, I get locked up in the same jail that my mom used to work at.
Word.
So, so the lady who was taking, she was getting me checked in or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, I know what you're talking about. Book,
She,
your book,
she,
your book.
yeah, she look at me. So she looks at me and she looked down at the paper. She was like, "You Lisa boy?"
That's crazy.
And I just dropped my head. I said, "Ma'am, yes," but I was like, this ain't what you might be thinking." I said, "This ain't it." That's
Damn.
all I
So
said.
you and I'm always shocked. Like I'm as a fan, as a person who watch you guys from afar, and I see that stuff come on Sports Center, I see it come on the news. I'm like, yo, how they getting caught up in this stuff? Like how they getting locked up? These guys got money. These guys out the way. That's at least that's what you would think. But obviously, money can't stop. You think it's like racial profiling at all in that matter, or was it just a asshole
In
cop?
that manner, yeah, in that manner, yes. But I also want to say this too, because I don't want to sound like we don't ever do anything ourselves. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? But in that particular moment, because I was on the phone at the same time, like there was nothing that I did, anything crazy. I literally got locked up going into work.
Mm,
There was nothing that I did. I didn't run no lights. I didn't do anything before that. Pulling into work, bro. And
mm.
you know, eventually the case got dismissed and all of that stuff. I
Good for you.
should have filed a lawsuit, but I just wasn't on that type of time, bro. Like, you know, I looked at it like, man, there was something I needed to learn. I don't want to block my blessing. Let me just keep it moving. So